This is a wake-up call. If you've been working on your business 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and you've gotten nowhere, you need to listen to this video. I'm going to explain to you why you're getting fucking nowhere and what you need to do to change things up immediately. Guys, my name is Chris Hanson with an O-N, not the Chris Hanson who catches predators, but the Chris Hanson entrepreneur who's helping other entrepreneurs on their journey. I've done multiple businesses, some failures, some have succeeded, earned $1 million plus, real businesses. Now I'm building a network called the One Network on Discord and other platforms where we help entrepreneurs actually launch their businesses and stay accountable to get to the top. We're taking on a select number of projects of companies that we're actually investing in, accelerating, and owning a percentage of to get them to the next level. I thought of this video kind of concept today, like I think most videos, as they come up. In our network, we've had a couple people, 20 or so people, who have been super engaged and involved since we launched a few months ago. They're all solopreneurs, freelancers who have business ideas that they're working, but they haven't gotten them all the way to a sustainable revenue level point. And I just noticed we had some calls last week where we were bringing investors on live for people to pitch to, different companies, successful entrepreneurs who might be partnering with these people or being clients for these agencies that we have and that we're incubating. And one of them made a comment to me about how the network members were unprepared or they didn't think they were going to go anywhere. And that really shook me. It shook me kind of to my core because it reminded me of the early days when I was starting my business and some of the issues that I ran into. Essentially, this person was pointing out that we've given a lot of resources to these members of the One Network for free, stuff they can do. And they were just observing the meetings at a glance over 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7, 8 weeks. And a lot of people are in the same exact position, not only just with their assets and stuff they were supposed to do for the network in terms of helping us out, writing summaries on their companies, but they had actually gotten fucking nowhere with their businesses in a 1 month or a 2 month period. And I'm thinking back to the different businesses I did, especially the first few businesses. And there were big stretches of time where I literally got nowhere with the company. Not that I didn't get anything done, but it was all feel-good stuff that didn't really bring me to the next level or get my business, didn't help me make progress. And I think that we can often get in this trap as entrepreneurs of thinking we're making progress when we're really not. I know a lot of people, my associates, people that I've worked with over the years, think that it's A or B in terms of how people are, the makeup of people. There's people who are born to be successful and people who aren't. My philosophy is that people who are successful are made. You make yourself successful. It doesn't just happen automatically. So I do think even somebody who is right now currently a loser or they're just not making progress, I do think that if you apply the right steps and you work it, you can actually get to a place where, you know, you're a success in your eyes, in the world's eyes, etc. So I don't believe that certain people are just doomed to fail, but I do believe that there are mindsets and things that are keeping you back from succeeding, especially in entrepreneurship. So I'm looking at this video from the early days of my first company where I'm just talking in broad concepts about this idea that I have. My company idea, we have no customers at this point when we're recording the video. It's just a pitch video from an accelerator. Ultimately, the company got some funding and we got some customers. It wasn't the biggest company ever, but that company eventually did turn into something. And then, of course, that fueled my later ventures and escapades in Miami and NYC. And so I'm thinking, like, how did I get from that level of the guy in the room with the idea, talking about my vision, to the guy with the money, buying the bottles, hiring people, and just being looked to as this success? What were the actual things that I did to get there in that 8 or 9 year span or 7 year span or whatever it was that got me? Because when I was recording that early stage video, I had no clue. I had no clue how to become a successful entrepreneur. I was just ad-libbing. And then nobody told me. I didn't take any courses. No one really told me anything about it. And I didn't really look to anyone for it either as a close mentor or something. But what was it that I did that actually enabled me to get to that next level? When I kind of map out my past and I look at the process and going from that loser to that success level, I'm trying to evaluate really what were the things, the day-to-day, because it wasn't just a straight up path. There were ups and downs. But in the periods where I was going up, what was I doing? And I'm looking back at it And really, there's sort of two things that I was doing that were critical. And the great thing about it is it's not anything advanced at all. And it's not anything that you need to be skilled or a natural born talent. I think I'm naturally skilled at talking, selling people, emotional EQ, things like that. But I don't think that was the reason why I got off the ground, because the 5 years I was an adult before I was an entrepreneur, I wasn't having any success. So what was these two things that I did that were just unequivocally the most important things? Number one was I spent all my empty time creating shit related to the business. When I started those businesses and I had nothing related to those businesses, I didn't spend my time researching business models, researching target audiences, crafting personas, or doing any sort of analysis paralysis. I just created shit. Decks, videos, articles, me talking to the camera. I created relationships with people, different people I could bring in to intern for me, to partner with me, 20 some odd business partners that I kicked out of the business, had a little bit of things going for me, etc. People who could give me feedback on the product, people who could work for the company, people who I could sell to. I just went out there and I kept grinding and I kept producing stuff. If I had nothing to do related to the business and I'm pulling up YouTube or whatever else, a video game or a dating app, I would turn it off immediately and I would start producing something, whatever that was related to the business. And the periods where growth slowed down for me, I stopped producing things. I started doing analysis paralysis. I started waiting for things to happen and people to bless me instead of blessing myself and creating something. And the result of this was that when people came into my business and they saw all the things I had created, even though I didn't have revenue or I didn't have stuff that was exemplary of a successful business, they saw all the stuff that I was doing that I had created and they wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to work with me. They wanted to pay me. They wanted to work for me. And I was able to build on top of that. A lot of the guys in my network, a lot of people that I talk to that have early stage businesses, they got nothing. The second piece, guys, is you spend all this time building something and then you have to execute on it when things get hot. So I spent all this time bringing on people to my businesses to work for me, bringing on people that I could pilot with, do stuff for free for them, eventually charge them for. I wasn't thinking about how I was going to do it or the tactics of the pricing. I was just doing whatever they needed me to do. I'm talking about my marketing agency stuff, which I talked about in many other videos. You can go back on the channel and look through that if you want. But so I just did whatever came up, and every single day, I knocked all the tasks off my board. This is why I think organization is key, and I'm a big believer in Notion and creating systems, because it cues you up the task and you know that you're doing something. Because you can go for a long time without doing anything and you don't even know that you're not doing anything until you get to that point. You're like, hey, I'm still broke. I still don't have a company. But I created all these tasks and shit for myself, people wanting things from me, and that forced me to work. Even though I'm lazy by nature, ADHD, it forced me to work and it forced me to actually produce things because people were asking me for things. Clients were asking me for things. I created this artificial pressure and then I just leaned into it and I kept leaning into it. I kept doing it. I didn't take breaks. I didn't take vacations for 5 or 6 years. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting on the back of a boat in Miami that I paid for with whatever fun that I was able to have there. And most of you guys are a few decisions away from getting on track to that point, but you won't take the fundamental step of starting to create shit for yourself and adjusting your day-to-day to live and breathe only the business. I just interviewed an entrepreneur who sold her business that she worked on for 8 years, and she talked about something that is a true point for me, which is there is no work-life balance in a startup. The work is you have to be into the work. And people have a really bad idea of what actual working is because they've just comparing it to their jobs or things that they had, and they don't really know what it actually takes to come in. So transitioning to that, the one network, you are actually going to see how I work. You're going to see how other entrepreneurs who are successful who sold businesses work. We're going to be working alongside each other, investing in each other's companies. There's different methods of engagement for you to go into the one network, some that cost money. The fundamental part of it, the meetings and everything, is free. You can join the one network. We can figure out what's the best path for you. But I'm really focused on cultivating a network and a group of successful entrepreneurs that aren't going to let you slip up and not make any progress. So join the network, see what's going on. Let me know what other videos you want and we can do it. Thanks.